Voicing the one and only.
Oh my gosh, where to start? When we did the first movie, 2007, we weren't even sure we could do it. I mean, everybody movie, which was amazing to me, even a few weeks before the movie release. And
I'm standing here right now with you guys. This is awesome.
Well, the crowd love you. They're excited to see you.
They love me.
Now, what do you think the reaction will be?
Whose questions?
The fans. They're going to have some very important questions.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm a fan. I grew up with it when I was, doing animation as a kid and wanting.
On the carpet, make some noise, people!
Thanks, Becca.
In fact, as much as you can perfect a movie, you can perfect an animated movie because you get iterations of the movie. You get to change dialogue along the way, all the way to the end. We were changing dialogue.
Oh, look, it's a big event film. It's visually stunning. The soundtrack, the sound is epic. It's transportive. For me, going to the films at the cinemas is about being taken to another universe, and this is what this film provides, and it's fun. The action's incredible. Well, it's an origin story, so I think we've always known Optimus Prime and Megatron as enemies, and now to discover they're once upon a time friends, or the best of friends, brothers in fact, is something new for people, I think, and it really makes the departure or the breakup of that friendship all the more heartfelt because of how close they were to begin with. So I think people are going to be surprised by that and really enjoy it. I've got a few of them. I've got a few D16s in my life. My trainer, Luke Zocchi, a guy I've known since I was 6 years old, but minus the betrayal and and the breaking up of friendship. I mean, I think the weather's pretty consistent all year round, which is a bonus. And there's it's strange alien life forms wherever you look, visually stunning, all sorts of sights and sounds and colours. So pick your month because at 12 months a year, it's hopping. How did I get into character? I listened to a lot of Peter Cullen, and it wasn't ever about mimicking what he had done. But I wanted it as a sort of reference point and also an end point. And this character's, it's an origin story, so he's a lot younger than the version of Optimus Prime that we've all known for many years and loved. So there was a spontaneity and a sort of youthfulness and a playfulness that needed to resonate through the voice. So we had a lot of fun, and it was a constant collaboration. I'd listen to what Brian was doing, and then Josh, the director, would cut it together, and we'd both be able to react off what one another was offering up.
This movie was made for the biggest screen. It's really, I think my daughter saw this movie a few days ago. She's 10, and she had never seen an animated film with so much action before, and I think the action and the soundscape and what ILM did with all of the animation and the texture of it, you want to see it, in order to experience it, you really want to see it like as giant as possible with that huge surround sound and a big old bucket of popcorn. It's a completely new, fresh take. I mean, even going into it, I said to Josh, I was like, okay, what do you want me to, what, should I watch anything before this? Or, it's obviously it's a story that's really like a whole new beginning, this kind of prequel, if you will. And he said to me, he's like, you've got to create this all on your own. I want something like completely new. So I think that's really like the excitement of it. It's like nothing you've seen before.
Oh my God, because it's larger than life. You know what, this is the first time that viewers are ever going to see Transformers that is all Transformers, like just no humans allowed in this one. It's on their planet, Cybertron, and the way that Josh has built this universe is like larger than life. So the scale of cinema is the best way to do it, yeah. Energetic, explosive, and heartbreaking.
That's great.
Oh, absolutely. I've been a fan of Transformers since I was a child. It's over 40 years old. It was a part of Saturday morning cartoons. And we just never really got to see them at their beginning. We always knew that Megatron and Optimus Prime were foes. So to see them as brothers and to actually see them have jobs and try to figure out their place in their world and before they can even transform is something that is really appealing because it brings the humanity to who they are. Oh my gosh, the Orion Pax. You know what, it's really interesting. I have quite a few friends that I obtained in college, which was almost over 20 years ago that I still have. My best friend Kenny is definitely my Optimus Prime. I can't believe I'm giving him this because like he's going to use this against me forever, but he is. Like he's been there thick and thin. He's also talked me into a lot of dumb stuff, much like Optimus did to Megatron. But you know what? I know that his heart is in the right place, and you know we all need one of those. So you know, Kenny, I love you, man. Thank you. People should not visit Cybertron personally because you won't survive because it's in space. But if you go to the movies, you will be completely blown away. Josh and ILM have done this amazing work with developing the art of Cybertron. It's larger than life. It was so amazingly Art Deco, but tech at the same time and futuristic. It's really gorgeous.
Paramount UK. All right, that seems appropriate. I think that the visuals of this movie are absolutely breathtaking, and people should see this on as large a screen as they can. I think everybody should see this thing in 4DX, IMAX, whatever you can, because it's, by the way, the reason is because it's the first time we're seeing Cybertron when it's a thriving planet, not when it's in ruins, and it's just an unbelievable visual feast. It's the breadth of the film. Also, I think people will enjoy the emotionality of it. That's the big thing. This movie is ostensibly a love story, and then also the action, which everybody makes perfect sense. It's an action movie, but the action in this thing is incredible, yeah. Oh, that Septembrus. Septembrus is the name of the month that everybody should go to Cybertron. Not too hot, not too cold, because you know it's metal. It's metal, so it gets really hot because there's 2 suns. So it gets really, I have no idea, there might be 4 suns, but it gets really hot on the metal. So you want to get there in Septembrus, or what we on Earth would call fall, yes. The most badassatron skill is saying badassatron. Being able to say it, right?
This movie is epic. The whole thing's like a sci-fi adventure. It's massive. In fact, I mean, we shot it with the IMAX in mind. Like I just wanted to feel like this is something that could never be shot on Earth. It's awesome. It's really fun. In fact, you just said it. It's playing with the characters. And you know, in 3D, it basically is a 3D model that you move around like a puppet. So as we were animating like fight scenes and stuff, it felt like we were going, oh, let's make them like go like this. Like you were actually playing with the toys all over again. So it brought me back to being a kid. Well, the origin story is what got me interested in doing this movie. I mean, you know, we've seen these characters be enemies, but to see them actually have a relationship and you know, to be friends, knowing that they are going to become enemies, it just makes the story a little more tragic and emotional, which I think is pretty cool. I don't think humans should visit. I don't think there's very much oxygen up there, so, but probably summer. Epic, fun, emotion. Is that a debate? I'd say that they're good when they're Orion Pax and D16. They're one person, one character, but when they're, you know, when they fight, they're apart. So I'm trying to work this out in my brain just to answer your question. Optimus Prime.
Well, animation allows you to have infinite choice, and we've already got large robots, so with animation it's just even more incredible. Well, what it definitely brings is you get to meet both Optimus Prime and Megatron before they were those characters, and so you'll come to understand them in a way you've never had before. It's been really fun, you know, and actually going on Cybertron, doing a whole movie on Cybertron is pretty great. And again, it allows you to do almost anything your imagination can come up with. So we have a planet that transforms. I mean, come on, how cool is that? Well, you know, it changes after this movie. It's going to be hard to choose between the two. I still lean towards Optimus, but I feel differently about Megatron after this movie. Well, it has to have something to do with the moon, I'm going to guess. But I would say that you definitely want to be there in summer. Dynamic, emotional, visually.
Wow, I mean, I think this movie, even though it's animation, feels almost at the edge of photoreal. And it, you know, when I watch this movie, sometimes I forget it's animated. So the scope and scale of it, and the movement, the camera movement, the cinematics of it, I think in a lot of ways are better, more impressive, and more visual than the live-action movies. When you see it in 3D, it will blow your mind. Like, it's really more of an experience than it is a movie. Well, it's, you know, I love movies where there's an arch villain. You know, the villains in a lot of ways define these movies. but you also want to know why they're the villain. And for me, personally, what was interesting was to figure out why Megatron hated Optimus Prime. And this was a story we knew we could never tell in live action because the entire world is created. So it would take, $500 million to make this movie in live action. So once we got everybody on board with an animated movie, we knew we could tell that story, which was the story we always wanted to tell. I mean, I think it brings real emotion for the robots. In the live action movies, the robots are all servicing humanity. They're trying to save humankind. In this movie, for the first time, you're really getting under their skin and understanding who they are. We say as people, they're not people, but you get the idea. I mean, that's what's special about this.
Transformers should be seen on the biggest screen possible because we built it that way. We wanted to make sure that this movie was big and loud and also visually stunning, so that way you get the full experience in a movie theater. And I believe the movie theater is the best place to see a film because you have an audience around you that also creates the vibe. And I'm so proud of this movie that we accomplished all of it. I think we went back to the origin story because people wanted to understand how we got to where we are in today's sort of, Transformers world. And it's really just a great, compelling story about, two best friends that become arch enemies. And it's a great story to tell. Josh did an amazing job, and with our amazing cast, oh my God, it turned out fantastic. Going to work with these characters in animation was so cool, and having Industrial Light and Magic, the original visual effects animation company, was amazing. They did a fantastic job breathing all of those characters into life, and having our voice team just with such great voices and great performances. I got Brian next to me, and he's incredible. They're all incredible. It was an honor for me to be able to be in the room and watch them all the time because Josh did an amazing job directing them, and these guys are fantastic actors. 3 words to describe the film: epic, gorgeous, and emotional.